Gonna get baited up here. We're gonna put power bait on one rod, throw it out there, float it up off the bottom, see if we can't get something. Normally I'd fish on the other side of this, but it's too windy, and my hands are junk. I mean, they're not junk, but they're junk. Seems like after the surgery, my hands just get, and I have to take a break when it's this cold out. I mean, I've been out here for half an hour now, and I haven't even got a line baited because I can't do nothing. I mean, I take my hands out to do something. 2 seconds later, they're cold, and my hands aren't working so well. They're not liking the cold at all. So, but one, what's going on, Coyote Killer? Good morning, good morning. Thank you, appreciate that. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to take dough bait, we're going to throw it out up off the bottom. What's going on, Earl Cox? How's it going? And then we're going to take a float and a worm, throw it out there, do that for a while, and then maybe go to a float on the bottom, or a worm on the bottom, floating it up with marshmallows or power eggs or something to maybe give ourselves a chance of not getting snagged up. So that's the goal for today, is to try to see which bait rules supreme. Fishing Prineville Reservoir. Prineville Reservoir. So we're just trying to do this challenge thing. Who knows if it'll work? Who knows what'll win? But it don't matter to me. I mean, I'm just doing this because it's been a minute since I've done a challenge, and I thought, well, today would be a perfect opportunity to maybe challenge. What's going on? Which do you guys think will rule supreme? See, power bait, you pretty much only fishing in one way, throwing it out there like that. Or throw it out there under a float. You can throw it out there on the bottom. You can do it a whole bunch of different ways. We're gonna start out by throwing it out there, I think, underneath the float. But because my hands don't work so well, it might be better off just throwing it out there on the bottom with some fire eggs or something and doing that. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully the signal gets better. I think it's just because of all the what's going on. Hopefully the day, anyways. Hopefully it's gonna clear up, and it's going slow. I've been out here for a half an hour, and I haven't even been able to get a line in the water because of my hands. After the surgery, they just don't like the cold. It's like just taking them out to try to bait a hook for 2 seconds is causing so much discomfort. Just like yesterday was causing so much discomfort. So I just don't know how well we're gonna. Hopefully it gets better, and I don't have to fight with all this discomfort. Because I'm not used to having my hands get this cold that quick. After, I mean, it's been a half an hour. I've been out here. I've just started the live stream because I was going to start putting the bait on, and I'm talking to you guys. And I haven't even been able to get baited up because my hands just get too cold, too quick. So, I've got 4 layers on today. Don't really need it, but I felt that wind coming, so I thought, well, a 4th layer was probably necessary. So, see what happens. No, I don't have hand warmers. I would use gloves, but gloves don't keep my hands warm. They never have in my 40 some years of life. So I really don't see no reason in having gloves. Not really. They're not. I mean, unfortunately, gloves just have never been able. It's like your feet. It's like getting a pair of boots that are supposed to keep your feet warm, but they never do. That's what gloves are to me. You buy a pair of gloves to keep your hands warm, and they don't do the job. So I thought about getting some hand warmers because that might be a viable option for putting them in my pocket. And I probably should have, but it is what it is. Maybe next time I'll get some hand warmers. We've only got about another month or so of this really cold stuff, and it's not even really that cold. It's just that breeze is making it cold. If we didn't have that breeze, it wouldn't be cold at all, I don't think. So All right, well, let's get some dough bait on. We got 4 different flavors of dough bait to try to go up against the worms, and we got 2 different ways to fish the worms. So no, I haven't even gotten casted out there. My hands have been so bad. I haven't even been able to bait up a hook yet. So you guys are gonna see me bait up the fish or bait up the hook and cast it out for the very first cast. You're gonna see both of them. We're gonna do a worm and bobber and for a little bit, and then we're gonna switch to maybe a worm off the bottom. And then dough bait we're just gonna throw out there and soak it. See what happens. So let's get some bait on there, get casted out there, and see if we can't get a fish. See which one wins. I may not want to use a bobber so much because it's constantly casting and reeling, but I feel like that gives me the best opportunity to catch a fish is if my bait is constantly moving. So that's why we're going to start out with the worm and a bobber. When worm fishing. So we got the ultralight. What is this? A 7-foot rod. And so we're just going to set that up right there on the tripod now, and we're going to get some dough bait. We're going to go ahead and start out with the morning. Jan Huxley, what's going on, man? We're going to start out with some cheese power bait. Cheese dough bait. Let's go. Okay. Somebody told me that they didn't like this Let's Go thing, so I'm trying not to use that too much anymore. I mean, I don't see no problem with the Let's Go, thing, but obviously not everybody likes the Let's Go whatevers. See how red my hands are getting? Just that quick. All right, there we go. We got a Posky Fire egg and some cheese dough bait, and that's going out right now. Going out. I don't think you guys seen where that landed, but that's okay. Not the end of the world. Okay, let's get it set up. There we go. First line is casted out. It does not work. Does not taste very good, huh, Jan? I take it you've tried it a couple times. Warm up our hands again. But we got the first rod out. We're gonna warm up our hands a little bit, and then we'll get the worm and bobber out there. I almost don't want to throw the worm and bobber just because I'm gonna have to do a lot of casting and reeling. So it's supposed to be sunny all day, but so far it's been cloudy, and well, behind me is all bluebird skies, but where the sun's at, it's all cloudy and overcast. So, well, it's fog, really. Not even cloudy, overcast. It's more or less fog. But which do you guys think? What bait do you think is going to win? Do you think the power bait or the worms are going to win today? Or do you think it's going to land up being a tie with a big old goose egg? If the wind ever slows down or it warms up to where I can go fish over on the other side, I think we'll have a better chance of catching something. Not guaranteeing nothing. Yeah, I should get a small drum just for building a fire. I should. Especially if my hands are going to be like this every year. You saying worms all day, huh? I'm at Prineville Reservoir, at the state park, fishing for some trout. Hopefully something's gonna show up today. Excuse me. I think it's gonna be excuse me. I think it's gonna be a tough challenge today. I don't really know that anything is gonna work really all that good today. Basically, why I feel that way is because I'm fishing on a side of but I'm doing it to get out of the wind. As you can tell, there's still some wind blowing. But I'm over here on this side to try to get away from the wind a little more. So, oh, the sun's finally going to poke out at me and say hi. And so this is probably going to be a two live stream day. Thanks. So today's probably going to be a 2 live stream day, and both of them are going to be a worm versus power bait challenge. We'll do a little live stream this morning for a couple hours. Fishing over here. Hopefully we get a windbreak at some point, and we can move over on the other side. Heading to work? I thought you didn't have to work Saturdays. Of course, I could be mistaken on what day it is, but I don't think I am. All right. So we're going to see what happens, see if fish anyways. Last time I was here, worm and a bobber is what was doing the job, and I did get one on a plastic worm. So I think the hands are warm enough to where we can get a worm put on there now. So we'll go ahead and get a worm put on and toss it out there and see what it looks like for my hands. And if push comes to shove, we'll just take the worm and bobber off and we'll throw it out there on the bottom. I mean, what more could we do? We're going to start out about 4, maybe 5 feet deep. Yeah, I would say about 4.5 feet there. Start out there and then make adjustments as we feel like we need to. I'm going to do something a little bit different today. Normally I don't add split shot to my rigs, but today we picked up some split shot and we're going to add some split shot to it today. Just to try to keep the worm and hook from getting wrapped around the bobber. So plus it should slow it down a little bit too. Do I think a worm and a bobber is going to work? I don't know. I really couldn't tell you. I really don't know what's going to work today. I'm hoping that everything works today, and we do have a decisive winner, but I'd be okay if it tied with, both of them catching fish. Stopped off at Ray's Food Place. Shout out to them for carrying some worms. We're only going to use a half one because I don't feel like messing with too much of a worm because my hands just aren't that great. So, and I'm going to many times because they're not that good. My confidence level on this side is about a 2 out of 10. My confidence level on the other side, if I was able to that, would be probably a 7 out of 10. So it does make a difference. There we go, worm and a float going out. Hopefully we're going to catch some fish today. Okay, let's see what happens. Wind is blowing from east to west. Ooh, that sun popping out now. It feels a little bit warmer. Feels kind of nice. Feels kind of nice. I can't complain. Set this rod down here. And then just keep an eye out on the stuff, and I'll talk to you guys. Now I don't usually like using split shot. What happens is it kinks your line up and it makes a weak spot in your line. But it is what it is. I was having too many issues with the line wrapping up around the bobber, and so I was like, yeah, it's time to add a little weight below it to try to keep it from wrapping up so that I don't have the issues of that. So I'll actually be fishing. I feel like the other day at Prineville Reservoir, that's why I didn't get as many bites, because I wasn't fishing properly because my line kept wrapping around the float, so I wouldn't get to the 6-7 foot depth range that I wanted to get at. And at some point, even if the wind don't stop, we might still move over on the other side anyways. Like if the sun does come out and just decides to stay out, then we might take the wind to the face all day, but we'll see what happens. So what do you guys think is going to win? You think the worm is going to win, or you think the doughbait's going to win? I've got one saying worms all day. See, if it was warm out and the bass were biting, I know I could probably pick a bunch of bass off out here, but it's cold and it's trout season, so I don't necessarily think that that's going to be key. So, but we'll give this spot, a few minutes, and then hopefully that sun comes out and warms it up enough to where I can go and fish on the other other side. Hurting for sturgeon. What's going on, brother? Stay fishing. What's going on? How's it going?
What's going on, man?
Not a lot. Trying to get a fish.
I feel you.
Oh, throwing a big old swim bait there. Huh? Oh, nice.
Yeah. Justin, man, what's going on?
James, how you
You
doing,
had
man?
any fish today?
I just got started since my surgery
Yeah.
on my hands. It's hurting my hands bad, and it's just like, so I'm just trying to do as little as possible. And
I feel you, man.
I feel like over on the other side is going to be a better option.
Yeah.
It's deeper, but the wind's blowing right at your face if you're on that side. And so
Yeah.
I decided to start out
yeah.
over here on this side, and then if that sun stays out long enough to keep it warm enough to where I can use my hands, I'm going to move over on that side, blowing or not.
Yeah.
But
That was me. We come down here and try to pick them up a couple little trout for dinner this afternoon.
oh yeah, I think you're going to get them if you fish on that side with a worm and a bobber, or
Yeah.
even dough bait floating it up off the bottom. I
Yeah.
think. But
Oh no, I went and bought worms this morning, and they're all dead and mildewed.
huh,
So
I went to that Ray's food place there in Prineville and got
Yeah.
me a bucket of worms.
yeah, I went to what was it, gas station at Sinclair there. They've got worms in there.
So,
When does the bass start to bite here?
well, you can get them to bite all year if you're fishing for them right, you know, and you're doing the right thing by throwing big bait.
That's all I throw.
But
Yeah.
thing is you got to work it so slow and methodical this time of year with it being cold, you know.
Yeah.
And you're from Alabama, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
yeah.
so and down there, you guys don't have much of a cold spell, do you?
Go, dude.
Oh, do you?
Our water temperatures in the wintertime get just as cold as here.
Oh, does it?
Yeah, because our water's not as deep.
Huh.
Down there, our average water temperature in the wintertime is 38, 40.
Well, which is still decent for bass fishing.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
it ain't great, but ain't terrible either.
Well, I mean, if you're drop shot and stuff like that,
Yeah.
it's fine. Which a HUD, you can tell how this thing's chewed. I mean, it's
I got some big baits I throw once in a while. I don't throw them a whole lot.
yeah. Oh, I mean, that's predominantly all I throw is big baits.
Got a Daiwa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tag free.
I just bought me one of those last year. It was on clearance, so I went ahead and picked up one. That's right there.
What do you got? Oh yeah, you got the Tattoo 100, the old one.
I got the 200.
Oh, the 200.
Yeah. That's the first Daiwa I've ever bought. So
Really?
yeah, I usually do Shimano.
Well, I do both.
Yeah.
Most of my Shimano stuff is most of my rods. Hey, if y'all want to go back over and sit by the rods, y'all can get out. Sit down, make yourself small.
Yeah, that way you get out of the wind.
Most of my stuff is more higher end stuff. Like I got Calcutta Conquest, things like Tranks. I've got. I'm trying to think over there. I've got some Chronarchs. So I brought my bass rods with me too. I got some Chronarchs. I've got out Antares. Dude, I buy everything from Japan, so you get it at half price.
See, like I ain't got no traditional bass rods. I don't. I gear all my stuff up for steelhead fishing, so I need a longer rod.
Well, I mean, that's an 8-footer.
So I gear up a lot of my stuff for throwing for steelhead, and so I'm usually using a lot longer rod than a bass rod, which most of them seem to be between that 6 to 7.5 foot, 8 foot, length.
Conventional, yeah, conventional, most definitely. Now, swim bait stuff, you're gonna be a little bit different. Which, for me, and that's in my area. That's what I kind of had a name for, was big swim bait. And not a lot of people did it. But I mean, that's what most of my buddies, I say they were general batsmen, whatever was getting the views at the time.
Yeah. See, like you got that. That's what a 6.3.
Yeah, 6.
It's a pretty slow reel, which is nice this time of year.
Well, yes and no. It's a 300 size.
Yeah.
So if you convert it over to like a 100 or 150 size, it's about like a 7.3. Because I mean, even like right now, that hood this is a ROF5, so it sinks, roughly 5 foot every 10 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
It just hit the bottom,
Uh-huh.
and then you sit there and creep it. If you watch the line, I mean, even with how slow I'm turning it, because of how big of a reel it is, it's like you got to creep.
Mm. I mean, there are some big largemouth in here, and some big smallmouth in here.
Are there big largemouth?
Oh yeah, I've caught an 8-pound largemouth out of here. That was way before I was ever a YouTuber though.
Yeah.
That's way before I even knew what YouTube was.
How long you been YouTubing for?
6.5 years.
Okay.
See, I've known about it for 8 years, but I've only been doing it for 6.5 years.
Yeah.
But it took me a while to get the equipment to start doing this.
See, I never got into the whole YouTube thing. I didn't have time. I mean, I had time. Now I've got a couple buddies that. Now I've been on a lot of podcasts and stuff.
Uh-huh.
But, Bass and Brews, I've been on it. I've been on Serious Angler. What else? Been on the Big Bass podcast.
Mm-hmm.
I've been on a couple. Ooh. I was about to say, I know I didn't get a hit just like that. A rock. But, yeah, that's rocks. Yeah, see that hood right there, just barely clip on the bottom.
Uh-huh.
Old trout.
Yeah.
I did my buddy Lojo fishing.
Yeah, Lojo, yeah.
Yeah, me and him. Which I mean, if you've ever watched a lot of his stuff, you'll see me quite a bit.
I'll watch his stuff.
He's kind of slacked off.
He has, yeah.
Since he's went with Bravo.
He has slacked off some, for sure. I mean, ever since he pretty much just gave up on the Googans,
Well,
I kind of understand.
Well, what he said on camera and what really went on are two totally different things.
Oh, I'm sure.
There's a reason why Norm left,
Yeah.
left,
Yeah.
Yak left,
Yeah.
TJ. There's a big reason why they all left. And it was because Goose went from a self-owned company. When they went to Carl's Bait and Tackle, they went to a more corporate style. And when they went to corporate style, it just, they're...
None on the bank yet. No, none on the bank yet. I literally have only taken like three casts the whole time since I've been here. But that's only because I had surgery on my hands and they just don't work properly right now. I should have taken 20 casts by now.
Yeah. Me and Lauren out on the boat right there.
Oh, nice, yeah.
And then Mikey, you ever watch Mikey Balls fishing? I fish with him a lot.
No. I'm definitely a fan of Lojo, and I'm definitely a fan of like Rackley and One Rod.
Oh yeah, I fished with those guys a lot back in the day when they first come out. See, that's more what I'm used to catching.
Yeah. Oh, they got some monsters to largemouth in here. Now, Crane Prairie is a monster largemouth place too.
Yeah, that's a place that I'll be hitting up this summer. Once I get my boat here and all that stuff, I've got a Phoenix FX21 that I've still got back home. I moved up here for them two. Yeah, see, that's just some of my beats, dude. I've got garages and just everywhere, dude.
Yeah.
That's basically all I do. Oh, here you go. You talking about rods? That's all Tattulas, Scorpions, Calcutta Conquests. I mean, that's all my big bait stuff. And then here you go. I'll show you a 15. I'll show you a 15-2 that I got ending of last year.
Biggest bass I caught in Missouri. I grew up in Missouri, and they're known for some big bass too. But the biggest one I caught there was 6 pounds.
Yeah.
I just went back there for Thanksgiving, and biggest fish I caught was a 2.5 pound largemouth on a bluegill.
Yeah, it's a 15-4.
Yeah, I believe it. Wow. Out there at Haystack before they had the major drain and kill.
Yeah.
A guy caught a 10 pound largemouth out there.
I believe it. See, uh, you know, I'll end up spending a lot more time over towards like Cottage Grove. That once I get my boat up here, because that's where Daniel, that's where the kids over there catching all those giant spotties.
Mm-hmm.
Well, when Milliken come up here, that's where Milliken
Mm-hmm.
was at Cottage Grove.
Uh,
And I mean, he had an 8 pound smallie. He had
I've got some monster smallies out of here.
dude,
There's some big fish in here.
good. I
It
like it.
it's so underrated because when you think about Oregon, it's not really a bass state.
Mm-hmm.
So it's the fishing is underrated. But people like me who go out and spend my time out there,
You know,
you know, you learn where to catch the big fish at, and you learn how to catch those big fish.
yeah. And
So
see, that's me. I'm a big bass guy. That's all I hunt for. Now, like with them, I tend to dial it back so they can catch fish. But like when I'm out here on my boat, I'll have 4 or 5 rods on the deck, and it'll all be big baits. And from what I've seen, they've got this thing drew down like.
well, yeah, that's because this place was never put here for fishing. It was put here for irrigation.
Yeah.
So basically, what happens is they fill it up and then they pump it out. They fill it up and then they pump it out.
Yeah.
So, but to fill this up, you got to depend on rain and snow.
Yeah.
If you don't get rain or snow, this thing don't fill up. And we went through about a 7-year drought here. And then finally, 2 years ago, I think it finally got out of the drought and filled everything back up.
Yeah. Well, see, that's what I was noticing with Ochiko. I'm back up now.
Yeah.
I was out there the first time I walked out there and walked around. I go right there in Prineville, that little park there. I go out around the cove and go back out there to that point. There's that big set of rocks there. When I first walked out there, you could walk up to the rocks and fish right off the rocks. Now there's 2 foot of water around it.
Yeah.
It's starting to come up.
See, like the biggest smallie I caught out of there was 3.5 pounds on my fly rod.
Yeah. Well, I've heard a couple of people. I talked to Joe up there at Joe's Tackle Shack or whatever it is. I talked to him and I talked to that game warden that stops in there every once in a while. I guess they do like a little fish roundup every year. He said he's seen some 4s come out of there. But.
Oh, well, I seen a 3-pound crappie come out of there. I ain't never caught one that big out of there, but I seen a 3-pound crappie come out of there.
Yeah, see, for us, I used to go to Grenada a lot and crappie, and out there, there's been some 4 or 5s comes out of there. And last time I was in Grenada, been 2 years ago, we was at Grenada, and we had the first day out, we had 87 fish. The biggest one was a 327, and we had 4 or 5 that was in the 3-pound range. But it's like bass fishing, back home bass fishing. I mean,
yeah.
I've got, like right now, I've got buddies that are fishing Gunnersville. Zach Burge. I'm real good friends with him. And they're up there on Gunnersville right now. He had 87 pounds yesterday. It's unlimited format, but Gunnersville's popping like crazy right now because down there, we had that cold front come through. The fish kind of pushed up and just set in the grass, and they're going crazy now.
Yeah. But
well, I'm gonna walk down here and check.
There's definitely some big fish to be caught, and pretty soon the crappie fishing will get fire here in a couple months.
When does it normally start to warm up here?
Well, I mean, it can depend on the year. Like this year, I feel like it's gonna be warm early.
Yeah.
So like one year we started catching the crappies, which was crazy because that's kind of still cold,
Yeah. But I was kind of figuring by the end of April or so. When do the bass normally bed up here?
Oh, it can vary from year to year. I mean, like last year when I was fishing for the bass at Lake Billy, they were bedding, and it was crazy because it was like it seemed like it was late in the year for them to be bedding, but they were still bedding.
Yeah.
So like usually, I'm gonna say mid to late May.
April, mid to late May.
Yeah.
So that
because it really depends on the temperatures. Because if you want them to start spawning, you got to get them up to that magical number.
Yeah, about 68.
Yeah. So and it really just depends on the year.
Yeah. Well, I mean, once that water temperature hits 62, they'll push up and start feeding pre-spawn. That's the biggest thing. They start pushing up, start feeding pre-spawn. That's when that right there will start.
I've caught some big smallmouth this time of year.
Well, and see, that's the funny thing. I go to New York. I go to New York every year. I didn't go this year, but the past 6 years I go up to New York and fish the Susquehanna. and we don't go up there. We don't go up there till October, November. There'll be 6 foot of snow on the ground, and we go to the Susquehanna. There'll be people out there, there'll be people out there, steelhead fishing. We're out there just, plowing 5 pound after 5 pound of smallmouth while they're steelhead fishing.
That's my cup of tea. Steelhead fishing. You want to fish that that fights. That's the ticket there.
I've never caught a steelhead.
I'm telling you, I
never caught my first trout until I moved here a couple weeks ago. And I ain't caught about 3 of them.
What made you decide to move all the way out here to this cold state?
Well, I worked in oil field years and years ago, and me and my ex-wife, which is their mother, we got divorced probably about 9-10 years ago, and I got remarried. And down there in Alabama, it's just a job situation. I always had a good job, but down there, it's just getting to the point where it's so, the people ain't good no more. And we've been debating about, because we would fly up here and spend like 3 or 4 weeks every year.
Oh, really?
And every time we'd fly up here, we'd fall more and more and more in love with it. Well, my ex and her husband, they own about 900 acres over by Brasada Ranch. They run cattle. So we'd come up, stay at Brasada, or we'd come up, pick them up. We'd go up to Hood, or that area over there. Yeah. And we drove into Prineville one day just to see Prineville, and I was like, I love this little town.
It's a nice little place.
And that was about 2.5 years ago. And I was working for WT Offshore in the Gulf, and we had rig stack out, and which I've got a Class A CDL also with tanker and hazmat. Well, everything stacked out. Well, when it stacked out, they gave us just like a $40,000 severance package. I told my wife, I said, it's now or never. We got the money. Well, it's we our house down there, we sold it, and we're like, well, we found a place to rent up here. We packed everything up and shot north, and we're here. But mainly so I can have them every weekend.
There you go.
Like that,
that's always a good reason.
Child support in Oregon's retarded. $2,000 a month in child support.
Yeah, well, I spent a lot of years paying child support myself.
Yeah, so especially see, like in the state of Alabama, child support, for like say 2 kids in Alabama, like $400, $500 a month. Up here, I was paying $1,940 a month. Now I've got it down to like $1,100 a month. But I get them on the weekends and stuff. And then on top of that, the money I save for travel, I don't got to come up here and rent a place. It's wonderful. And then on top of that, this is sportsman's paradise. I don't care. People talk about Louisiana all they want to. Yeah, you got saltwater fishing and stuff down here, but up here, the people are nice. There's places to fish. There's places to hunt. You can do anything up here.
Once you get the fish dialed in this time of year, you can pretty much catch them any time of the year.
Yeah, I've got January 1st, the first Tuesday in January. I've got
well, it's already past the first Tuesday.
No, not January, February. February next month. The Central Oregon Bass Fishing Club. They've got their meetings they do up there at that Rosa's Pizza or whatever, that pizza place up there in Redmond. And I'm gonna get in with them. I'll start tournament fishing with them. I'm
a member of the Oregon Kayak Bass Fishing.
KBF.
Yep.
What kind of kayak you got?
Old Town.
Old Town.
Yeah.
I've got
I fish out of it a lot more than I do my boat.
Yeah, well,
I've got a little 14-foot aluminum boat, but for just me, it just don't make no sense.
I've got a Perception Outlaw. It's a paddle, it's a paddle. But, for me down there, our lakes, most of the lakes I fit, like that lake that 15 come out of. If you use to cut straight across right there, about 40 acres is all that little fish was. Golf course pond.
Yeah.
Them
ponds can hold some big fish in them.
They really can.
I grew up fishing a lot of ponds.
Yeah. See, I grew up in Florida, so Kissimmee, places like that. My forte always was a frog, punching, flipping, stuff like that. And then my dad worked out here in California in the mid-90s. Well, I come out to California and, see all these people, what the heck's a glide bait? And then he was working in Castaic at the time. So I went to the marina there at Castaic and I meet a guy named Paul Bailey. now everybody, now that I know who he was, I was like, wow, I met him when I was a kid. Well, he gave me some original Castaic card heads, a triple trout, and a hood.
Mm-hmm.
And I took them back to Florida as a teenager, and dude, I killed on them. And then it was after that, it was just like you put fire in my hands, let me burn something up, because that's just it was. And now, I fish a lot of the citizens, I fish a lot of I fish the Tyrant quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
I fish a lot of big baits.
Yeah, I that's where I'm more of a ultralight guy.
Yeah,
you know.
Look, there's times that I've seen guys with ultralights, dude, and I go out there on the lake and they're tearing fish up.
Oh, there it is.
And with them tearing fish up, I go, man, I wish I had a spinning. Which I got spinning rods, but man, I wish I'd have brought a spinning rod with me. Well, and then another trip later, you go out there and whack a 12, and it's like, nah, I'm good.
Well, they got the BSF bait casters now, so that's
yeah. Well, I've got one of the Daiwa. It's the Silver Creeks. And then I've got one of the Alderbearing BFSs. I got Alderbearing. I've got it sitting on my bench at the house. Ain't even bought a rod for it.
I got the Shimano Corrado BFS.
How do you like that?
I like it. Some people don't like it much. They feel like they can do better with the other Shimano that's out.
Yeah.
But for what I'm doing, it works out perfectly. For what I'm doing, it works out perfectly. I mean, I'm throwing light baits with it. I can throw a 1/64 jig head on it.
That's that.
And some people are like, "Oh, you can't throw that light of one on a Corrado," but I can. And so, I mean, that's like that big.
Well, and that's the thing is people they don't understand what reels can do, and that's one of my biggest. I've been throwing a bait caster since I was his age.
Yeah.
I started on the old school original Bantams, the metal frame ones.
Yeah.
And I went from that to the green Bantam Corrados.
Yeah.
From that I went to the regular the Corrado 200Es, the Cronart 200Es. From there I went up to the I's, the J's.
Yeah.
And it's realistically, it's only been the past 2 years that I got into Daiwa. And the only reason why I got into Daiwa, I mean, like when I say and I still own them. I've got every high-end Shimano that they make. I mean, I've got Antares. I've got.
When it comes to bait casters, I'm pretty much set on my Corrados. Because they make one for everything.
Exactly.
And so, and they're usually pretty reasonable too.
Well, I'll be honest, for that lower tier price, I just feel like that the SLXs, if you're a tournament guy, an SLX is, I mean, dude, that's all Shimano's.
Yeah.
I mean, that goes everything from an Antares all the way down to SLX. So that $1,000 price point all the way to, $100. And this is just my personal opinion. In the $150 to the $350 price point, the Tatula has Corrado's beat, hands down. Now, and I mean that in casting, retrieving, smoothness. Now, I will say this, in heavy application, frog fishing, punching, things like that, I will not use a Tatula only because I just don't trust that T-wing system. For that heavy just jacking. I've jacked some big fish on this, but that's a 300 size reel, so it's built. For that, I'm more of a, like a Corrado or a Bantam.
I haven't unboxed it yet on YouTube, but I just got a brand new 300 series Corrado.
You did?
Yeah. I love them for fishing for steelhead. I love them for fishing for salmon. I love them for fishing for catfish. I love them for fishing for sturgeon. They're just a nice all around reel.
I'll say this: I've had a couple of the Corrado 300s. They're good for about a year, and then I don't know why the bearings go to just crap.
I don't know. I had a problem. The oldest one I've got's 13 years old, and I still use it every.
Yeah, well, I mean the 300s, the Corrado K 300s. I don't know if you got the M or the K, but the Corrado K 300s, the bearings that they put in them, I've had 4 of them. All 4 of them. After about a year, the bearings just go to slap doo doo. But I mean,
but you can get bearings just about anywhere.
Yeah, you can get a set of of speed spool bearings or some orange bearings or some Boca bearings, something like that. It's a 10-minute process to change them out, and it's good to go again.
Yeah.
But you know, at that point, if I'm gonna throw a 300 size reel, I've got Calcuttas that I use. And, I mean, there's not a reel out there that, in my personal opinion, that will outdo a Calcutta as far as casting, smoothness, everything.
Yeah.
And I mean, they make them. You know, they make them everything from a 50 up to a 500. So,
Yeah.
but at the same time, who wants to throw a Calcutta that big around for BFS? You know, it's like I got a buddy. He does all that BFS stuff. He's got a lot of those Calcutta Conquest DC BFS, those shallow. And I'm like, why would you put a reel that big around on a 5 foot long rod? I mean, that to me BFS is meant to be light. You know?
Yeah.
So why would you do? You know, that would be putting like a 50 wide on that right there.
My BFS is on a 7.5 foot ultralight.
Yeah.
So to me, it's having that 7.5 foot ultralight's nice.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you can cast a lot better too.
You know. But I mean, I can cast pretty good with the short rod too, though.
Yeah.
With the BFS.
And it depends. You know, lake fishing versus creek fishing.
Yeah.
A lot of those guys that are creek fishing, they got those little 5.5 foot. You know, they can just go. And,
Yeah.
You know, and undercast places. That's like, you know, I've got swim bait rods. I've got everything from 7'4" up to 9 footers. You know, and it depends. Like out here, I'm 8'2". And well, speaking of Paul Bailey, there's a Bailey Swim. You know, casting this right here, I want something heavy. I want something hard. I mean, it's a broomstick.
That is, you know.
But you know,
but that I mean, once you get them dialed in, man, you're gonna catch those bass all year round.
Oh yeah.
It's just getting them dialed in for this time of year, because the rest of the time of the year, bass are fairly simple to catch.
Yeah.
But this time of year, that's when it's really hard.
Yeah. Have you watch Mike Buka any?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah. Have you heard? I know you've heard about. Have you heard about the new 5-inch trick shads that come out?
Yeah.
He made those plastic ones. Well, he's making a resin one. He's releasing next month.
Oh yeah.
I've got one.
Oh, nice.
I'll bring it back over here and show it to you.
All right, cool.
It's this one right here is one that hasn't hit the market yet.
Gotcha. We're using worms and power bait to see which one wins the day. We're just fishing for some trout. The sun's come out. I think we may land up making a move on to the other side now that the sun's come out, and it feels like it's going to stay out for a while. I'm not gonna worry about the air wind with the sun coming out. So I think we'll have better luck on that side fishing with. So we're gonna move over there here in about 10-20 minutes. We'll give this another 10-20 minutes, and then we'll move over to that side. My confidence isn't on this side of the reservoir. The reason why I chose this is because my hands don't work properly right now, and it's cold. And so I'm over here on this side to get a wind break. So that's why I'm over here. So eventually, though, even though the wind don't seem to be dying down, what's happening is the sun's come out. It's warming up a little bit, even though it's still cold with the yeah, it was the perfect prescription the doctor wrote. Yeah, they wrote me a prescription to go fishing as often as possible. So that's what I'm doing. So my hands don't work for beans yet. So they work, but they don't work as good as I would like for them to work.